Good evening, viewers. We meet yet again on another exciting episode of Economic Forum, your weekly program that covers all matters relating to the Zimbabwean economy, be it agriculture, industry and commerce, mining and tourism, to mention but a few. I'm your host, Cynthia Zhikaramba. It's good to have you along. This week, we focus on agriculture. In October 2018, the government implemented the Transitional Stabilization Program to stimulate domestic production, exports, and rebuild the economy to an upper middle income status by 2030. The Transitional Stabilization Program is set to be superseded by the National Development Strategy 1 that will run from 2021 to 2025. From an agriculture perspective, the National Development Strategy 1 is focusing on raising farm output and efficiency, as well as unlocking other economic opportunities. It seeks to increase agriculture production and productivity, especially by smallholder farmers, to ensure food and nutrition security, enhanced income, increased opportunities for value addition, and the development of agribusiness value chains. With 40% of the country's foreign currency being generated from agricultural exports, the success of the National Development Strategy is therefore hinged on agriculture through the production of export-oriented and high-value crops such as ginger, garlic, pepper, and turmeric. Pursuant to this, a local organization has embarked on a nationwide drive to educate farmers on how to grow these crops. They are already setting up satellite centers in the country's 10 provinces, and recently they were in Matabeleland South Province, Umzingwane District, at Greenlight Farm, where farmers converged to learn about ginger and garlic production.
Today we are in Matabeleland region, Umzingwane District, Ward 9, at a farm owned by a young man, a young Zimbabwean, who has won respective awards because he believes in the land. We have been to Manicaland, Mashonaland, Midlands, Masvingo, and now Matabeleland to lay a strong foundation so that we are contributors to the attainment of the middle income by 2030. The introduction of high-value crops is a must to trigger development at village level. We saw here a young man who is battling initially with water. He has managed to invest significantly in water. He is now fish harvesting. He is growing about 7 of 8 crops under horticulture. And today he has asked us to introduce the production of ginger.
Today it's actually a good day for me. I've got people from TGPA. They came here to demonstrate on ginger cropping. In Matabeleland, this farm is going to be the satellite for the whole Matabeleland for both young people that are wanting to engage in ginger cropping, ginger farming, and as well as for women as well that are also wanting to be involved in ginger farming. Ginger farming, why? Because it's a high value crop. We are going to be cropping 500 kgs, which has a scale of a quarter of a hectare. And we are irrigating using drip irrigation. We've done our land preparations very well. Here in Matabeleland, as you all know, that it's a bit dry region. And we are involved in technologies that are going to be preserving or conserving a lot of water, like drip irrigation. We've got access to underground water. We've got 3 boreholes that we have. The cost of producing our ginger, looking at fertilizers, the labor, and also chemicals is very low, because on ginger cropping we definitely don't need any of chemical fertilizers, but only organic manure. And also we don't need any pesticides at the moment, because most pest amaningi ayila ama diseases amaningi.
We were also pleased to see the involvement of rural youth in such agricultural activities, which will go a long way in reducing youth unemployment and generate the much-needed foreign currency for rural communities.
Siyajabula kakhulu ukuthi basethekele ababekuzosifundisa ukulima ijinja. Kodwa sibe si-relied ngokulima nje izilimo o-beans, ama-butternuts, lama-tomatoes, labo-green pepper, lama-onions. Lathi siyathemba ukuthi isilimo lesi abasiphathele sona sizaguqula lathi impilo zethu. Njoba sile ntengo ephezulu. Laso siyathembisa ukuthi hayi singaphilisa lathi impilo zethu, lathi sitshintshe sibe ngabantu lathi abangcono empilweni. Ngoba lathi hayi kuyasijabulisa sibili ngoba intengo yakhona itshengisa ukuthi la intengo engasenza lathi sibe zingeni laphezulu. Lami ngiyakhuthaza nje abanye bami labensebenza labo ukuthi beqine sibili sisebenze ngendlela esitshengiswe ngayo ukuthi kumele sigebhe sifake sipime ama-centimeters according to the structure okuhlanyela lokufaka umquba ukuthi umquba ngkhona siubeka kanjani. And then sokubuya nje ukuthi nxa sisebenza lapha sibe ngabantu ababambeneyo, sisebenze lathi sikhululekile as from the beginning nje siqalisa ukusebenza nje silaphe eplazini. Siyabonga kakhulu ngalesi isilimo esisilethelwe ukuthi themba lathi nje lami njoba limbona amahlebe zulu lani elikhona ngapho lapha elikhona ukuthi hayi yaya things khona lapha lathi sisekele kwaphana ukuthi kuhambe kunjalo vele kube mnandi kubuhle kunje. Sevana bevu as our land is our prosperity, so we have to use it.
Ginger farming is a very high yield crop, which is very useful for us as farmers because, as you know, the finance minister recently announced that we're moving from the transitional stabilization program to the national development strategy. So as part of that strategy, us as young farmers we intend to grow high yield crops such as ginger, turmeric, garlic and peppers, primarily for the export market. So as young farmers, we've been given a great opportunity to start with that, to learn how to farm the crops. I would also like to encourage other farmers that there are opportunities available if they are willing to pursue them. So you don't have to follow the usual template of going to school, then looking for a job, looking for employment. The employment is there for us to create. So we are not here to wait for anyone to give us jobs. We're here to create the jobs ourselves.
Gender equality is essential for attaining food security and nutrition and achieving all the sustainable development goals. In line with this, the project has moved in to involve women who are critical agents of change in the fight against rural poverty.
I encourage all the women to get involved in agriculture. Agriculture is the way to go. Even planting these crops, the cash crops, ginger, garlic. I think if you get involved in farming, you will do well.
So complement your income by taking a position and say, look, the 3 dozen or so crops which do well in Zimbabwe, let me pick one of them. And we are recommending that you don't need much land. You need just a bit, even a quarter of a hectare, to grow sustainable and drive sustainable income from ginger, garlic, and pepper and turmeric. No one foresaw COVID-19 coming. That is a lesson for all of us. Let's prepare for food security, and it starts by growing high-value crops in addition to some of the crops we have. We want Bikita to talk of Nostro accounts. We want Mzarabani to talk of Nostro accounts. We want Umzungwani to talk of Nostro accounts right in the village.
We take a short break. Join us in the second segment of Economic Forum for more. Welcome to the second segment of Economic Forum as we continue looking at initiatives being done to uplift livelihoods through production of high-value crops such as garlic, ginger, and turmeric for export. Under the new dispensation, universities and colleges are being encouraged to conduct business under the Education 5.0 in order to produce goods and services instead of producing half-baked graduates who know nothing about the job market. Some youths have taken up the challenge of Education 5.0 initiative by becoming active participants in garlic production.
I'm a former UZ student. I did Masters in Agriculture and Applied Economics that I finished last year in 2019. And now I'm doing 5.0 education, practical farming. Basically, I grew up on a farm and I had a vocation for crops and animals. But at times, I had people saying that, no, go and do office work, go to the formal employment side and stuff. But I then came to understand that even farming, what we are doing here, has got a lot of money. And since farming is the mainstay of Zimbabwe, it's the backbone of our country, it's something which one, if having the opportunity to get into, should really get into. I'm doing ginger, want to do garlic and other export crops. Put this farming thing onto a higher notch.
We receive daily CVs of young men and women wanting to be employed. The land is the employer. There's plenty to come out of the land. And he is growing ginger, garlic and pepper, groundnuts, sugar beans, all dedicated crops for export. The minister, the Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Comrade Morwira, is preaching daily the need for Education 5.0. That's the way forward. Nobody is going to come from elsewhere to teach us Zimbabweans. We must take responsibility. And when we invest in the youth, I believe that's a winning formula. And for my civil servants, take the land to complement what you're doing. Grow ginger, grow garlic, grow pepper for export. That to me is the way forward. No one will be paid enough money. We are a growing economy. There are going to be challenges, but complement those challenges, mitigate against those adverse issues by growing commercial crops, high value crops, which have got a dedicated export market.
With the emergence of industrialization in the education sector, some schools have also ventured into agriculture in line with the Education 5.0 initiative. The production of high-value crops such as garlic and ginger will go a long way in supplementing the school's incomes.
We are in Tinwald, a district in Harare, at Mother Touch group of schools. This in particular the junior school, but at the agricultural center as part of the school. And in addition to collecting school fees to complement various activities of the school, they've ventured into production of high-value crops because this will earn them foreign currency, which is a must for every institution.
We've taken advantage of the pieces of land that we have. So we just started very small, planting vegetables for our own use, for staff food, for our boarding facilities. But as we speak now, we have found that we could venture into high-value crops, namely garlic, ginger, pepper. The purpose is not just doing farming, number one. We want to empower our learners. We want to open up their minds, think outside the box, see opportunities, make a living out of any resource that you have, rather than looking at the negative, complaining, and everything. This ginger, we planted it on the 19th of October, and it's doing very well. We are happy. And as soon as we harvest the ginger, around March, we will then plant our garlic. We are so happy, we are excited with the way it is performing.
Using a market-driven approach, the association has been training farmers on best production techniques and entrepreneurial literacy, and at the same time linking them to markets, hence guaranteed income.
It's a market-led production. So Zimbabweans, this is the market for ginger, garlic and pepper, a market-led production. And when we do this, we will process it and it will go to specific markets as long as we meet the volume and quality. So it's very important that even in these COVID trying times, business must still carry on. All our schools can grow. You start with even a tenth of a hectare, you will build up. But when you grow to a sensitive market, a market-led environment, that's a win-win situation.
First of all, I want you to know that I'm a passionate Zimbabwean myself. I come from a place called Gweru. I was born there, lived my whole life there, and I went to university in this country. So this country is very important in my heart and in my soul in many ways. And I want to give the Zimbabweans the assurance that I believe implicitly in my soul that the future of the world is food security. Mm-hmm. And this is where it starts. This is where food security starts. And this is where it multiplies from school to school, from family to family, from backyard to backyard. I can assure you here now today, if we've got the quality and if we've got the product, we can place it in offshore markets for you and create great revenue, not only for the government, not only for the population, but for the individuals who grow the crop and then can use that money to send the kids to school, can use that money in hard currency to buy things and to empower themselves and to lead better lives. But that's where it all starts. It all starts in the ground by empowering yourselves, by growing crops, by achieving the quality, and by getting it to the offshore markets. And that will be the key to this country in overcoming many, many, many problems. And I want to just tell you something. As far as garlic is concerned, over the COVID period, I don't know if you know, the biggest producer of garlic in the world is China. And their production has gone down by over 50% since COVID. And that's why the price of garlic has gone up dramatically. And there's great money and great rewards to be had in garlic. So it's a very exciting project.
Join us in the third and final segment of Economic Forum for more. Welcome to the third and final segment of Economic Forum. We continue to explore how agricultural diversification has made a significant contribution to growth in the sector by avoiding risks and uncertainties arising from climatic factors, pests, and diseases. With the religious doctrines and beliefs influencing the interaction of humans with the land, the Traditional Grains Producers Association has gone a step further by engaging religious institutions in the production of garlic and ginger. One of the churches to take up the initiatives is Zion Christian Church, ZCC Mbungo, who have added garlic and ginger production to the chain of their farming activities.
Masangano chino chikuru pa development. Saka mushauno uyu munoona kuti pane basa guru rinoitwa basa raMwari rakatsigirwa nevanhu vane chido chekukumbira nyadenga kuti tirarame nekuraramisa ruzhinji rwevanhu veZimbabwe. Ndinofunga mamwe mazera enyu ari panapa munoziva kuti kwakuine njera, kwakuine mhonga, kwakuine nzungu, kwakuine beans, kwakuine mpunga wedu wechiwanhu uya wechinyakare chaiwo uri panapa. Saka izvozvo ndizvo toda kukurudzira, topamhidzirazve kuti tirarame semhuri nekurimwa zvimwe zvekutengesa muno muZimbabwe nekutengesa kunze kwenyika. Totsvaga mari iya inonzi foreign currency. Pane chirimwa chinonzi ginger, tsangamidzi, nechimwe chirimwazve chinonzi garlic, vamwe vanoti hadio, nechimwe chirimwa chinonzi mhiripiri. Mukaenda muHarare yenhasi chaiyo kana kuti mukasvika mumastoro makuru enhasi, munobhadhariswa $900 pa kg yegarlic, kana kuti ndingati munobhadhariswa $11 pa kg. Ndo zvirimwa zvotoda kuti izvozvo tidzidzisane zvorimwa. Ndo pundutso iri kutorwa nabo Mnangagwa kuti mukuru wedu wenyika kuti umwe neumwe mumusha, district by district Zimbabwe yese tibudirire nekuita nyaya iyi.
To ensure adequate funding of such projects, financial institutions have also been roped in to provide credit facilities to low-income earners who are keen to participate in the project.
Finance to most communal farmers has been a challenge. We are coming into this project as the financier in the provision of inputs to the farmers, the financial support to the farmers, as well as crop insurance to this program.
Tadzidziswa kurimwa kwegarlic, kurimwa kweginger, kurimwa kwesugar beans, kurimwa kwemaground nuts. Kupfurikidza this project kana ikanyatsoitwa zvakanaka tichasimudzira upenyu hwevazhinji nokuti pachava neproduction poita value addition to the products dzichamanufacturwa pano nokurimwa.
These crops are being sold in United States dollars, so this boosts our foreign currency to the country. As an AEO, it is my role to help rural people how to grow these crops. This is going to improve the standards of living of the rural people.
We have learned about many crops which include sunflower, mbambaira, garlic, ginger. Particularly, I've learned that ginger benefits in terms of health. We have a pandemic disease which is coronavirus. We can use ginger to reduce the effects of coronavirus. Ginger brings us foreign currency since we have a market which is already available.
The income generated from such agricultural projects will help in the day-to-day running of the church as well as assisting in charity programs.
Shoko rowedenga tinodzidza kuti muparidzi 5 verse 9 tinodzidza kuti isusu nokuti nyika inobatsirwa zvikuru nechinhu ichi, mambo unofarira kurimiwa kweminda. Shoko irori rinotinakidza zvikuru kuti it is only through serious agricultural production that our country as a nation we have the capacity to bust economic sanctions imposed against Zimbabwe. As a church, we find it very important that it is an empowerment program to our church members. Zvakakosha zvikuru kuti sevatendi tose tigamuchire shoko rokushandisa ivhu tigone kuwana zvatinouya nazvo pamberi paJehovha Mwari wedu. Each of us has to sweat kuti tiwane upenyu hwakanaka. Programu yaitwa pano, kudzidziswa kwaitwa pano, isekereke tazvigamuchira tafara nazvo, uye imharidzo ichafamba muvatendi vedu vose. We can all realize a vision 2030 of attaining a middle income economy by 2030 kana tikagona kushanda pamwe chete tichibatana saizvozvi.
Genesis 2 verse 8. Mwari wakarima munda akasima miti. Pa chapter 2 verse 15 unoti apedza kurima wakatora munhu akamuisa mumunda kuti aurime nokuchengetedza. Isu savanhu veZimbabwe takapiwa nhaka naMwari inonzi nyika yedu yeZimbabwe. Pfuma yedu savanhu veZimbabwe iri muvhu. Vhu iroro tinofanira kurishandisa kuti tiwane pfuma. Ndinoda kuti tibatsirane navamwe vatenderi vemwe makereke nezvimwe zvitendero. Chirongwa ichi chinofanira kuti chigashirwe nesu vanotenda kureva kuti vatendi vemakereke akasiyana. Tisu tinonyanya kunzwisisa zvinoda Mwari, tisu tinonyanya kunzwisisa shoko rokurima kupfuura vamwe vanhu. Saka ndaikumbira makereke ose sezvataita isu veZCC tinoda kuzviona zvichiitwa chechi dzechipostora, dzechitachi, dzeRoma nedzimwe chechi dzose dziri muno muZimbabwe.
Besides the production of high-value crops, the Traditional Grains Producers Association has also set focus on production of traditional food crops to sustain our culture and livelihoods, thereby providing community resilience in a changing climatic environment.
Toda kuti titende vanyabadza nechirongwa chavatiunzira kunoku chema traditional grains. Toda kutenda zvikuru iko zvinezvi madzimai vawana seed nhasi. Seed yakasiyana siyana, mbeu yakasiyana siyana, ma traditional grains vawana mhunga, mapfunde, zviyo, Zimbabwe rice, beans, zvese izvo zvavawana. Ndikuona kuti zvichaunza pundutso yakanyanya kumadzimai ari mumasingle mothers emuSeke district. Iko zvinezvi mukatasa tachingoti tikarima chatarima tokanda mudura, totora futi ichocho chatarima ichocho tokanda mudura. Asi iko zvinezvi zvakutiitira nyore nekuti iko zvinezvi vana vanyabadza vakuuya vachisvikotenga zvese zvinezvi zvarimwa nemurimi, voenda ikoko vanotigadzira mbeu, yodzoka futi mbeu iye, kureva kuti isusu taakutozviitira seed bank yedu yekuti kana mangwana taakuda kuti tichirima mbeu inenge yakawanda zvekuti zvichapedzisira zvatopundutsa munhu wese mudistrict.
Samambo toda kuzvigashira nerufaro uve mucherechedzo munyika yekuti mhuri dzine dzishaya vabetseri isu sevatungamiriri ndisu tinoenda tichinotsvaga kuti mhuri ingabatsirike sei. This is a wonderful program and I just wish inoenda munyika yese yeZimbabwe.
Such initiatives will improve standards of living for people living in the rural areas and boost countryside economies, hence putting the country on a trajectory to become an upper middle income nation by the year 2030. That's all we had for you on this week's episode of Economic Forum. For your views and comments, do not hesitate to contact the producers on the details appearing on your screen. From me, Cynthia Jikaramba, and the crew behind the scenes, happy viewing.